Yo, what is up? What is up? What is up with everybody? We are back. We are live. We got Joe here today. Joe, my man, talk to the people, bro. How you been?
What's good, John? I'm good, man. I'm good. Happy to be back. Happy to talk about some playoff hoops. I'm actually going to the game on Saturday. The Lakers.
The Lakers
Yeah.
Thunder game, not Thunder, but the Lakers
Timberwolves.
Timberwolves game fire.
I'm very excited. I haven't been to crypto in a minute. I don't like downtown that much, but this is going to be a good experience. I'm excited about that. Excited about a lot of these matchups. I think it's the West is obviously very unpredictable to start. A lot of these matchups are going to go. It's going to be a lot of long series in the first round as opposed to the East, where I think it's a little bit of a snooze fest in the first round. But in the West, it's a lot going on, a lot to pay attention to. A lot to talk about.
Yeah. Let's hop into it real quick. Obviously, the play-in, night one of the play-in was last night. The Warriors defeated the Grizzlies, as well as the Magic defeated the Hawks. I was actually out for the Warriors game. I was like trying to watch it on my phone, so like I saw it, but like I didn't see like everything. I was watching the Magic Hawks game. But what's your opinions on what you saw, bro?
The Warriors. I didn't really catch too much of the Hawks Magic game, but the Warriors Grizzlies game was very intense. It was a playoff intensity from the jump. The Grizzlies came to play. The Warriors relied on Steph and Jimmy to produce, and they produced. I think they each had over 32 each, plus I think Jimmy had around 38, Steph about 33. They made the shots that would need to be made, and they needed to be done. But a little bit of a red flag with the Warriors is they need somebody else to score. Draymond, every once in a while, like on Sunday he hit 4 threes. Last night he hit 0 threes. Pajeski's been playing good basketball. He didn't really show up last night. Quentin Post gave him decent minutes. Moody, I think he's exceptional, but they're gonna need more offensively from somebody to step up there and show that they can help those two guys out. Also, the Jonathan Kuminga thing is insane because I think back-to-back DNPs is a little crazy. But they're gonna if they want to beat the Rockets, the athletic Rockets, the number 2.
We gotta like talk about that, bro. Cause I think people just think because the Rockets are a very young team, right? I think people think that it's just like a pushover matchup, and I don't necessarily think that, bro.
I don't think so
either. I think the Rockets defense is a real thing. Also, Steph Curry got held to what was it 3 points a few weeks ago, and this wasn't like this was a meaningless matchup. Like everybody was still fighting for a playoff spot. So it wasn't like this was like, oh, like, you know, it didn't matter. The Warriors got everything sold up. That wasn't the situation. If they win that game, they may as well, they might not even be in the play-in. That's how tight everything was down the stretch. So I'm not one that's under belief that this is just gonna be a cakewalk for Golden State. And I'm with you. Like yeah, a couple things were alarming. Like, okay, yeah, Jimmy got his buckets. You know, Jimmy got the 30, what is it, the 31, 32, but granted. Yeah, 30, yeah, something like that. He hit like a few threes, but like a lot of the threes were like just literally walk-in shots. They weren't even guarding them. And yeah, like I just when I look at number one, the rebounding, they're a very small team. Except when they put Looney in the rebound, they're a very small team. I'm with you. Like I think it's very easy this year to load up on Steph. Just for the simple fact that like they don't have much else like. Paz, right? I think the game when the Lakers played the Warriors and Paz, I think it was like all them threes.
25.
I don't expect Paz. Yeah, I don't expect Paz to do that. So I think it's easier to load up on Steph. Also, this isn't the same Steph Curry. I've seen Steph Curry get his shot blocked a few times this year just because he's not as quick as he once was. So yeah, I don't necessarily think that you and the Grizzlies are a team that we'll talk about them as well. I don't think they have to make the playoffs. Like I think that granted, I would pick them to win the next game against whoever else they have to face, whether it be the Kings or the Mavericks. But I don't think they have to win that game, bro. Like I don't think it's a foregone conclusion that they're gonna win that game.
I mean, you said I don't think it's guaranteed they win, but they should win.
They should win.
As a franchise, I think that they should.
They should win. But the Grizzlies is a team. I mean, I think if they don't make the playoffs, I think you have to open up the trade market for pretty much everybody on that team besides Jaren Jackson. And I'm only saying besides Jaren Jackson because he's been a defensive player of the year and he's been consistent and he's been an all-star the past 2 years.
Have you seen how, Bang has been playing exceptional as well.
Yeah, but Bang get $200 million.
And the Grizzlies also, they really, as much as they bothered the Warriors, they mirrored the Rockets in a lot of different ways. So for them to compete like that with them, I think that's also it's going to be tough. I mean, if the Rockets can drag this series out, get physical, kind of wear the Warriors down a little bit. Because I don't think you're getting 30 plus from Steph and Jimmy every game, 6+ games. That's not going to happen. So they can somewhat eventually contain those guys. I think that they can possibly shock some people. It's going to depend, and I think it's realistic considering like they're a top 4 or 5 defense in the league. You got defensive coach. You got guys like Dylan Brooks. You got the Amin Thompson. You got guys who you got young athletic guys who want to fly around the place and
they just need to have some common sense. If they can just have a bit of intelligence, if they can just have granted, I know if they but you got Dylan Brooks. Say what you want to say about him. Everywhere he goes, for the most part, he wins. You have a championship player in Fred VanVleet. He did win the championship. He's on the squad. You have Jeff Green. Granted, he's not going to play a whole bunch of minutes, but still, he's there. You have Steven Adams. So you do have vets surrounding these young guys that hopefully in moments they can bring them in and be like, yo, we doing this. Or FVV at point guard can just settle guys down. Like, he's literally a championship point guard. He's won a championship in the NBA playing point guard. And he was a very big part of that series and a very big part of guarding Steph Curry in that series. So, they just have to have a little bit of common sense. But I want to wrap up the play-in talk as far as like the night one recap and then move on to what we'll think about tonight's matchups. Hawks Magic. I watched that game and the Magic pained me because I think the Magic could be a much better team if they were just healthy all season. Jalen Suggs was on the court. I would they're playing the Boston Celtics, so I think it's kind of like but I think they could have taken it. They may be able to take a game from Boston. I think they maybe could have taken a game or two from Boston if they had a healthy squad. Because going into this season, I had the Magic winning like 50 games. So it's just unfortunate. Yeah, I had them win like 50 games. I thought they were gonna have improvement over what they did last year. I thought Paolo would be an all-star again. I thought Franz would be a fringe all-star. They had Jalen Suggs, improvement from Anthony Black. Also, you brought in KCP. Granted, I don't think KCP gave them what they wanted KCP to give them, but you still, I was expecting this team to do pretty big things this season, and it's been kind of a disappointment, but I think it's been a disappointment because of injuries. But what did you think of last night's game when it came to Hawks Magic?
I think they did a hell of a job defending the Hawks, which is not saying too much considering, obviously Jalen Johnson. They didn't have Dyson Daniels. They were down a lot. They traded away DeAndre Hunter. It had pretty much one source of offense, and that's Trae Young. And as amazing as he can be, that's not enough to win a game like this against a defensive team like the Magic. I think they took care of business, and they relied on the defensive men to do that for them. I thought Banchero and Franz did a great job coming through, doing what they do, just getting those buckets when they matter. Also, the huge game from Karl-Anthony off the bench last night. That was big for them. That's my biggest concern with the Magic, like you said, especially with Jalen Suggs out, is their guard play. And they don't make trades at the deadline. I'm not sure how much money they have this free agency, but if they look at a guy like, I know he's restricted, but look at a guy like a Josh Giddey or something like that to come in and set the table.
They ain't gonna be able to get Josh Giddey.
Make it easier for
Josh Giddey gonna get too much money, bro.
Banchero, I think he's been vocally open about the fact that he doesn't really want to be a point forward. He doesn't really want to take that role. I think if they need somebody to really set the table for them and get those guys in place as opposed to how it has been. But I like their big man rotation between Wendell Carter and Goga off the bench. And their wings are pretty good. That's why I think they're a decent matchup for the Celtics, considering their strengths are wings, and obviously everybody knows the Celtics' main strengths are their wings. So it should be a little intriguing, even though, like I said, I probably expect them to probably get gentlemen swept. But yeah, the Magic are definitely one of the most intriguing young teams in the league, but they don't make deadline moves. They don't have their guard play isn't good enough. And that's pretty much their ceiling as of now.
You know who I think would be great for the Magic at point? Dennis Schroeder.
A vet who okay.
Cost-effective option. He's not going to cost you a whole bunch of money. Also, if you think about Team Germany, he already has a connection with France. Team Germany, right? So I think Dennis Schroeder would be a great small pickup for them this offseason. But moving on to the play-in action tonight, I know me and Thomas gave our predictions, but I want to hear yours, man. Bulls Heat. Who you got?
Bulls Heat. I got the Bulls. I think their fast play style really irritates the Heat, and I think this game. I believe the Heat. They don't. As far as their pick goes, I think their future is a lot more important than winning tonight's game. I think they get a higher pick, or if they keep their pick, I know their pick is going to be in the lottery if they don't make the playoffs. I think that's bigger for them in the long term. And I just think the Bulls with their fast play style, those young guys, really he can't really keep up with that. I expect Giddy to have a fast pace, get up and down, have another big game where he's over 8-9 assists, over 8-9 rebounds, over about 20 points. I expect them to control the pace of the game and run the heat out the gym and seal their spot to play the Hawks for that 8 seed.
I mean, I already said like I'm with it. Like I think the Bulls have been playing incredible basketball. Over the past month or two, Kobe White's been great. Josh Giddey has been like a poor man's Jason Kidd.
Yeah, he's been insane. He's gonna get paid this summer
for sure. Matas Buzelis, now that he's playing, like
he's been really good too.
Yeah, he's been great. Like I think Matas Buzelis can genuinely be a star in this league if he continues on his growth. Like for one, I think what people forget about Matas is if you look at mock drafts 2 years ago, he was the number 1 pick.
I saw those. Mm-hmm.
But he went to the G League. I don't want to say it didn't work out, but with like a lot of G League players, sometimes like it just doesn't go the correct way, which is what I think happened to him. And he dropped to 10 in that weird 2020 in the last year's draft, which was kind of weird. And you got like a top 5 talent guy at 10, and he's been playing well. And for the Heat, bro, I think it's just time to retool. Like I said, I like the people that they have. Like I like what Davion Mitchell has been doing since he got there.
That was a good pickup.
I damn near ain't even seen Wiggins on the court. Damn near, I feel like. But I like what Bam Adebayo is. I like the way he's been playing recently. But I'm with you, bro. I think the Bulls take this game, and I think the Bulls make the playoffs. I think the Bulls beat the Hawks and actually make the playoffs. Question, Joe, do you have any headphones for the feedback?
Is it what is it
a little bit of feedback?
What if is it still what now?
Yo. No, it's fine. But yeah, so yeah, I'm picking the Bulls to make the playoffs. Me personally. So that's where I'm at with it. But moving on to the next game, Kings versus Mavs. What you think about that one? Who you got for that one?
That's a very intriguing matchup for me, mainly because of the Sabonis versus Anthony Davis dilemma.
And question: do you think either I know we kind of glanced at it, but do you think either of these teams can genuinely make the playoffs, or do you think this is like a pointless game and just like it doesn't matter? They're going to be the sacrificial lamb for Memphis regardless, or do you think one of these teams has a better chance against Memphis if they win than the other? Hold on, real quick. Let me answer this. How wish I got out of purgatory? I think that they are out of purgatory. Like I think that they retooled. They did what. First of all, shout out to Teddy Hart for the money. And I didn't mean to cut you off, Joe, but man, that ain't the bread. Gotta holler at him. I think they're out of purgatory. I think they did what you wanted them to do. Right? They got rid of Zach. They cut some guys, and you got a young team. And I think you have a young team with potential to grow. Like Josh Giddey, under 25. Kobe White under 25. Also, who can Kobe White be? Can Kobe White be a actual 24 point per game type guy every single night? Buzelis, you got Vucevic, who I think is a good big for a young upstart team. Like I don't think that they'll be in purgatory. Like I know people, that tank for Cooper Flag. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think Buzelis could have just as good of a career or a better career than Cooper Flag. In my personal opinion. So I think that they're kind of out of purgatory, and this is a very fun Bulls team, and I'm excited to see what they can do in the future. I don't know if you have thoughts about that, Joe.
About how Chicago get out of purgatory to keep. I mean, I think they have something to build on. Like you said, I'm kind of piggybacking you. Like my child was the number 1 prospect at one point. Giddey is not old. White is also a younger player. Pat Williams is.
Pat Williams.
It just seems like they have something.
The Pat Williams thing was bad, but it's all love.
It seems like they have something that they can build on. So, I mean, I don't think it's the end of the world. They got another possibly, if not a lottery pick, right at the end of the lottery pick this upcoming draft. And, I mean, I don't think being able to compete like this is a bad thing. I mean, you want to keep people in the seats. You want to be competitive. You don't want to just be getting steamrolled. And, I mean, it's just the whole consistent 10, 12 win stuff. I mean, we see it didn't really pay off that well for the Sixers. They still haven't won anything off of all that long process taking. It's just too demoralizing. I don't like it. As athletes and just as a sport where you out there to compete, I don't like the whole idea of you need to go out there and win 10, 5 games, 15 games a season in order to, turn everything around especially when you have something that you can build on, like the Bulls, I feel like. So yeah, I don't think they're necessarily in purgatory. You have something you could look at. They're not the Wizards. Like they're not what you're looking at your roster.
But the Wizards have talent.
They do have something. They have something. I mean,
They
Bud
have talent.
Carrington, Alexander Sarr shows promise. Poole is a max player, but I mean, you have something there to look at. So that's why I wouldn't necessarily consider it purgatory.
Facts. But back to the playing Kings Mavs. Like I said, is number one, who do you see winning, and do you think that either of these teams will just be the sacrificial lamb for Memphis, or do you think that one of these teams has a better chance at actually making the playoffs and beating Memphis, if either?
I know the Kings are at home, so I'm probably just gonna ride with the home team. I think they got a little more firepower than the Mavericks, as far as considering DeRozan, Levine, Sabonis, those three. So I'll probably pick them to win this game. I'll ride with the home team. But this matchup is really intriguing to me, because of the whole Anthony Davis Sabonis thing. I believe starting off, Sabonis was 10-0 versus AD, but over the last 4 games, Anthony Davis he's won the last 4 in a row since after starting off 0-10 versus Sabonis. So this is an intriguing matchup there for sure. Obviously, the circumstances are a lot different now. He's on a new team. Also, was when he was on the Lakers. But I think this is going to be. It should be a really good game. It should be close. I expect it to be competitive. These two teams are really evenly matched. I expect. I know Max Christie really cooled off a lot since the beginning of the trade. So not too much. I just don't think the Dallas, unless Anthony Davis has one of those. He just almost had a quadruple double the other day. I believe he had like 7 blocks, like 20 points, like 14 rebounds, 12 or something crazy like that. Unless he has one of those nuclear games where he's just like, I'm Anthony Davis and I'm arguably I'm a top 3 big in this league, then I really expect Sacramento to be able to run away with it. I think all around with all the injuries that the Mavericks are going through and all the controversy with Nico Harrison and whatnot, he's still in the media telling people championships, doubling down on his trade and telling people championship win defense and blah, 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 and the fan base being what they are. I feel like it's just time to end this Maverick season and just, get healthy. Pray for some health. Pray for Anthony Davis. I don't think he's fully healthy yet. Pray for him to get fully healthy, get Kyrie back, possibly make a move this offseason to add another piece. But I just think it's time to just put this season to bed for Dallas. Just and move on.
I'm with you. The quicker Dallas gets this season to the offseason, and hopefully we can start to forget about this season. And I'm with you, because I do think Dallas, if they were healthy, they had to call him a madman, but it could have been decent. Like if you get Kyrie, you got all those guys and they're actually healthy and on the court.
I feel you. He just didn't get enough.
I feel you, but you got AD.
I don't see how you don't get Reeves and maybe a couple more picks in that trade.
You got AD.
I don't see how you don't get Reeves though. Reeves,
I'm not giving you Reeves.
You could have got more, man.
You got AD.
They had the most leverage. I feel like they had in those negotiations. You have the most leverage, and
you do, but you got a top 75 player of all time.
I feel you, but towards
he's not towards the end of his career. AD got at least
he's on the opposite side. He's
on the opposite side, but AD got at least 3 more years where he could play like this, bro.
I feel you, but I mean, you left too much on the table to give up. What we all know Luka Doncic is.
Granted, I'm somebody who doesn't know if Luka gonna last another decade in the NBA, but that's just me personally. That's just me. I think we forget about Luka as the man been a professional since he was 15 years old. So he ain't the normal 26, 20, however old he is guy. Just me. I don't know if he gonna last a whole nother decade, but that's just me personally. But I think the Mavs gonna win this basketball game, bro. I just still think the Mavs have a better basketball team than what the Kings have. I think Malik Monk, if I'm not mistaken, is out for the rest of the year. So now you just put in. I think yes, the Kings in theory have more firepower, but I think Sabonis will be kind of neutralized because of it. Really, it depends on AD, bro.
If he goes nuclear, if he goes like AD, then
because the Lakers game, right? He came out there and did the passive shit.
I don't think he was passive. I think that they schemed for him and they were fronting him. They had backside help. There wasn't really much he could do. They pretty much schemed him out of that game. JJ Redick and the Lakers, and they were playing 2. He was seeing 2 bodies like most of them.
Fair.
I don't think Sacramento had a similar approach. I don't think they'll come at him like that. I think the Lakers were expecting him to be aggressive in that game, and they game plan for it. And there's not much you can do when Kyrie is out. You guys are out, and you're seeing 2 bodies all night. I don't think that was really more of a pass. I think that's just what the Lakers schemed and they executed to a T.
Fair. But yeah, I think it just depends on AD. Like if AD is gonna go out there and be the best player on the court and give you 30 and 15, I think they'll win the game. If AD and the rest of the guys decide if they on Google Flights looking up flights to Cancun or looking up flights to Anguilla or some shit like that, then I think they'll lose the game. I think I think the Mavericks have the better basketball team. They just have to want to play. They have to want to play and want to win and have to want to get to the playoffs. And if they don't want to do that, they'll lose the game. And I could understand if they don't want to do that. Like, you're probably not gonna beat the Thunder. I think they could take a game or two from the Thunder.
Well, not the Thunder.
Here's why though. I still think they have a better front line.
No. The Thunder's front line is elite now.
I saw Chet get his ass whooped last year by Lively and Gafford.
But I mean, Chet got backup now though.
We got Anthony Davis.
Huh?
We got Anthony Davis.
Chet got backup though. He got Hartenstein. He got Jalen Williams.
Anthony Davis.
Damn, they got what, 2 triple doubles in the last couple of months.
If Lively and Gafford was whooping Chet ass last year, you had Anthony Davis in there. They should whoop their ass again.
It's not the same Lively though, brother. Lively don't got somebody to spoon feed him this time. Come around, no.
Yeah,
it's not the same Lively, man.
No, look. Offensively, I feel you. I'm just talking about defensively. They were whooping their ass on the boards. Is what it's like.
Not happening again with Big Hartenstein.
I got Anthony Davis, bro.
I got Hartenstein and I got Jalen Williams backing him up.
I have Anthony Davis, G. I think Anthony Davis is a better basketball player than both of those people combined.
I feel you. I mean, you see this to scheme AD out the game when all his partners is out.
Again, I think they can take a game from the Thunder. And again, I'm saying that because I think the front line is better. I think the front line can get you a game or two. A game or two.
But I guess we'll see.
But do you think either of these teams has a better chance against Memphis than the other?
I believe the Kings probably have a slightly better chance versus Memphis. And also, it's like you say most of the time we're just playing. It's one game. So, I mean, like, anything can happen. That's why March Madness is so amazing. Even though this year we had all one season, it wasn't no exciting stuff this year. But, contrary to, we usually get a Cinderella team out there because it's just one game. Anything can happen in one game. Anybody can get hot. Anything can happen. But I probably pick the Kings just because, like I said, they got more depth, more weapons, more options. So to take a team like Memphis out. Even though it's going to be tough, I think Memphis should be heavily favored versus either team. But I think the Kings will probably have a better shot.
I'm not mad at that. But moving on, let's talk about some actual playoff action. What is the series that you're looking forward to?
The series I'm looking forward to.
Look at all the series. What's the one that you are like, yo, when this comes on, I'm making sure I'm clearing my schedule and I'm watching every game of this?
For me, outside of the Lakers, obviously, I'm going Clippers Nuggets. I'm very intrigued by the series. I'm very intrigued by the series. I'm high on the Clippers this year. I think the Clippers have been exceptional this year. I think they've held the storm without Kawhi. I think Harden should be all NBA. I think
third team
running for most improved player. Along with Norman Powell, he didn't he missed some games, so he's not eligible anymore. But I think he's in the conversation. I think Chris Dunn and Derrick Jones have been exceptional in their roles as defenders. I think that Ty Lue has also been exceptional this year. I think Kawhi Leonard has been playing great basketball since he's been off his minutes restriction and been over the last month or so. As a team, they've been playing great basketball. I think they since March 5th, I believe they're something crazy 19-5. Don't quote me on that, but they've been playing really good basketball lately. They're clicking. There's great energy around the team. I think that this team is very dangerous. I think that there's nothing pointing towards a Kawhi injury or anything like that. I thought that the way that they took care of business on Sunday versus the Warriors, I thought that spoke volumes. I just think that with that team, if they can kind of limit Harden's workload versus this series, if they can get if Chris Dunn can shoot about 34% from three, if Zubac can stay out of foul trouble, I think that they have a really, really, really good shot at winning this series. I really like Chris Dunn on Jamal Murray. I really like the matchups. Outside of after Jokic, obviously he's clearly in ahead, the best player in the series. But after that, it's it gets the Clippers literally have the next 4 or 5 guys. It's they're better players. If they can keep Zubac out of foul trouble, I think that they have a real shot at winning the series in 6 maybe 7 games. Despite all that, I don't think that you're going to be able to get enough from Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. with considering they'll have, the guys because they don't have to guard as well. They don't really. I don't think they really have a matchup. Who on team can really match up with Kawhi?
Aaron Gordon.
I mean, I know they have Aaron Gordon.
The who's gonna guard Harden part is more the thing for me because again, I do remember. Granted, this was a few years ago, but I do remember that bubble series when Aaron Gordon. It was Aaron Gordon. Also, Jeremy Grant was there as well. But Aaron Gordon was a huge part in guarding Kawhi Leonard and Paul George and kind of rendering them ineffective when they lost that 3-1 lead. But for me, the main thing is who's going to guard James Harden.
That's fair.
I don't really see like losing, if KCP was there, okay, you throw KCP on there and you feel, kind of confident in that. But when I look around the team, I don't really feel confident in anybody. I mean, unless you want to go to the bench and you want to somehow get Peyton Watson on them. Like I don't really feel confident pretty much in anybody on that squad guarding James Harden. To be honest with you, like I think this is Harden series to have. Like I think Harden can go out there and give you a Houston-like performance. Granted, it's not going to be 35 and 10, but I think he can go out there and give you 25-10 on 45% shooting from the field and maybe 38% shooting from three. And if he do that, we're looking at a 6-game series.
That'd be insane. I also expect a big series from Zoo as well. That 2-man between Zoo and Harden, I think Harden will win the best 2-man game in the league. I think that chemistry is out of this world. I think that Harden has made Zubac's job on offense tremendous, like really easy. He finds them for mismatches on the post.
All he got to do is catch the ball.
With the lobs. Like they play their 2-man game is exceptional, and I really like I said, the role players. I think Chris Dunn has been exceptional. I think he should get some all defensive love. He takes that assignment every night. He's all over the place. Derek Jones is flying over the place. I think that this team, as a 50-win team,
and also I like what Ben Simmons brings to the team, bro. Like I like the fact that they can. Yeah, but I like the fact again in the Warriors game. I like the fact that they can now go small. They can go small with people. And when you bring James Harden out, he's a guy where he can at least still set up offense, and he can also pay. I thought he made one of the biggest plays in that game. That offensive rebound. I think he kicked it out to somebody for a three. It was late in the fourth, I think it was. To like tie the game up. I think he tied it or they like took the lead off that Ben Simmons play. But I like what Ben Simmons brings to the team. I think it gives them. I think this is the best. I think throughout the whole Kawhi Leonard run in LA, this is the best. Yes, this is the best constructed team that they have, right? I think that in many other times they were like too forward heavy and didn't have enough guards. Now you actually have the right amount of guards, you have the right amount of forwards, and you can play different ways. Like, don't forget, Drew Banks is still on the squad as well. So even if Zubac does get in foul trouble, it's not like you have no other big that you can put in the game. You can put Eubanks in there and get 5 to 10 minutes out of him. So I like the fact that they have that they have the ability to play in different ways that they didn't have in previous years. Along with having Harden and along with having Kawhi, and I'm with you. Kawhi has been looking like Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, he's been playing exceptional. He's been. I think he's shooting like 43, 44% from three. To his spots. He's doing Kawhi Leonard shit. Doing Kawhi Leonard things.
The thing about Kawhi is like his game don't really change. So it's not like it's based off athleticism. It's based off getting to your spot and getting a good look. I mean, as long as he can just stay on the court, there's no reason that he can't do that, right? So I'm with you on that. For me, the series I'm looking forward to is Knicks Pistons. I'm looking forward to Knicks Pistons because I think that this series will start Cade Cunningham's MVP candidacy for next season. I think that Cade Cunningham could be the next American-born MVP. I think he can realistically be a top 5 to top 3 player in the league. And I think that this is the series where he finally puts the league on. I mean, look, he finally getting mentioned. He getting mentioned in Drake songs. He getting mentioned in Drake leaks. I think this is the series that puts the casual fan on to Cade Cunningham. I think that he's gonna go in the guard. Granted, it's gonna be tough. He's gonna have OG on him. He's gonna have Mikal on him. But I think he can go in there and give you 28 and 10. I think he can go in and give you 28, 10, and 7. Mm-hmm. And granted, I would pick the Knicks to win this series, but I think that Cade can go in there and have moments. And I was talking about this. Shout out to homies, Scott. I'm not gonna hold you. I think this is one of the most important playoffs in like the past 20 years. I think that when we talk about new faces of the league, I think that we will leave out of this playoffs with some. I think Cade will be a guy where you'll start seeing him in more commercials and you'll start, seeing him on like the NBA graphics. I think Anthony Edwards you already seeing it, but I think, you playing at Staples and you playing at Staples against Bron and Luka. If you go out there and have a motherfucking series, we're going to be talking about, I think there are many guys that we can be talking about differently. Even a guy like Amen Thompson, right? Like, I think that he's a name that the basketball purists kind of know, but I don't think the casual fan knows Amen Thompson yet. But if he go out there and put on a show against Steph Curry, held that man below, and hold that man below who we know Steph Curry to be, that's a name that you'll start hearing more. So I think there are a lot of guys. I mean, even Shea, right? I think we know Shea, and Shea will win the MVP award, but Shea's not face of the league. You know what I'm saying? But if he goes, even Tatum, I just think that there are so many guys that after this playoffs, if they perform, we'll have something else to say. And I also think that K, if he goes out there and performs, he speeds up the Pistons timeline, right? Like if I'm the Pistons, I saw a report that I don't know how true it is, but they said 80% of Eastern Conference GMs believe Devin Booker will end up with the Pistons. I think K is the type of guy where, like, if he goes out there and has a performance like that, he speeds up your timeline. Now, maybe you want to go get a second starter pair with him because you think the time is now, right? Especially with this second apron thing. Like, once guys start getting their contracts and start getting their money, you got to win, bro. That's the thing about the Thunder. Like, they have to, like, I think even though the Thunder are a very young team, I think they have to win. They have to win because these guys are going to start getting paid, and it's going to be to the point where you can't keep all these guys, or it's going to be very hard to keep all these guys and still add the level of talent that you need to add, right? So for me, the series I'm most looking forward to is Knicks Pistons. I think it'll be a magnificent series. I think it'll be a classic series, and I think it'll be one like I said. I think Cade Cunningham will start his MVP candidacy for next season in this series. I don't think he'll win it next year, but I think he will start his MVP candidacy to be at least a top 3 vote getter when we do this show 25, 26, same time. I think he'll be a top 3 vote getter. So for me, it's Cade Cunningham, and Knicks Pistons is the reason why I'm most looking for the series that I'm most looking forward to. When I talk about this playoff. So that's it for me. Is there any other one that you see that you want to really want to see? I know you want to talk about the Lakers and Timberwolves, so go ahead, get it out. Lakers Timberwolves. I know you want to. I know you want to talk about it.
Yeah, Lakers Timberwolves is gonna be interesting. I think that the Lakers are gonna try their best to take Anthony Edwards out of the series. Like I said, similar to how they treated AD, and just similar how they usually treat stars. They're not just gonna let Anthony Edwards beat them. So now it's about who else? I look down the line. I think they're going to be perfectly fine if Julius Randle ends up having a great series, even though that's some based on his past playoff experiences is very unlikely. I think if they can get those, I do think Minnesota's deep. I'm worried about how Naz Reid is going to be huge, and depending on Naz Reid is going to be huge. If he can come in, if he can get you above 20 points per game in the series on efficient, I think that the Lakers are going to be in trouble.
If he go 20 a game, they losing.
No, I wouldn't say losing, but
if he go 20 a game, bro,
I think it's going to be. It'll be a very competitive series. I think the Wolves can I think they can match up with the Lakers. I think they do. They can throw different guys at Luka. You can put McDaniels on Luka. I think you get away putting Randle on Luka. I think that as long as they can keep Gobert, if they can keep Gobert off of Luka, if they can run the lineups correctly, if they can maybe go small when necessary, if Anthony Edwards can be Anthony Edwards, despite the double teams and whatnot, I think that it would be a very, very competitive series. I think a lot of people are looking at this like a lot of Warriors fans are celebrating. They think it's the Warriors, but I don't think this series is going to be as easy as you think. As Lakers fans think it's going to be. This Lakers team really worries me, honestly. Now that the honeymoon period is over with Luka Doncic, just with the size aspect.
What do you think about Luka's play in LA so far since he's been there? And be honest.
I think, like I said, the honeymoon period is over. It's playoffs is here. I think he's been kind of what I expected, the defense is obviously very underwhelming. I don't condone that. I've been critical of him of that for his entire career. A lot of times he'll just get blown by like he isn't even there.
That Pacers game, if Bron didn't tap that ball back in, brother.
Man, and even like the Warriors game, Jimmy Butler, a lot of guys just ran right by him. I think obviously offensively he's exceptional. He dribbles a little too much at times. He'll get ahead of himself. I think his game also relies a lot on the 3-ball. Like those games when Luka goes 1 for 7 from 3, 0 for 6 from 3, 2 for 10 from 3. It's not really a good game for him. It kind of throws everything out the window. He relies on the 3-ball a little too much, and he dribbles a little too much at times. But he still puts on a show. His passing is arguably 1 of 1. He makes some passes night in, night out that you're like, how many players in the NBA can make this pass? And it's like, it's not too many. But I think that, like I said, Lakers have been playing great basketball. They locked up the 3rd seed. So that's pretty damn good. I don't know if they would have been this high with Davis. Considering he did end up getting injured, re-injured, and he missed more time. I think he's been good. But this team as a whole, it does kind of worry me just with the whole, Jackson Hayes being the only true 5 on the team. I know small ball is very popular and whatnot, but can you get away with that when you're going against a 7-1 Gobert with one of the longest reaches in the league, with Julius Randles and Naz Reids? This Lake, and I know with those 3, the Lakers' 3 best players are exceptional offensively. They can any night explode for 25 plus each, all three of them. But how many of them do you really trust in on defense? Like I feel like Anthony
LeBron.
Edwards and these guys are really licking their chops. If you get a Reeves in a 1-on-1, if you can get a Luka Doncic in a 1-on-1, you can get these guys 1-on-1 and you can get them moving without the ball. You can catch them sleeping on backdoors and whatnot. I think that it should be a lot. It's going to be a lot of easy buckets for the Wolves. I think the Lakers will take it in 6 because I just think that their offensively talent is they're too overwhelming. I think they're better coached. I think they'll tactically they'll be better. I expect them to hit the big shots. I expect them to win the games. I expect them to win every home game. I expect them to take care of business. I feel like once that game 3 hits, there's going to be a ton of pressure on the Wolves to win that game. I don't think it'll face them that much. If the Wolves did have Towns instead of Randle, I'd be 10 times more worried about this series. But they traded Towns in order to save money. So that's where that starts to bite you in the butt. But I think this would be a really fun series. I think it'll be Anthony Edwards talked about how he wants to go out with players like LeBron and whatnot. But I think the Lakers will take it, and it'll definitely be cool. But this Lakers team definitely worries me. I think they get past the T-Wolves, but I don't know. In the long run, I feel like the lack of defense and the lack of rim protection will probably catch up to them.
Yeah, I think the Lakers need one or two more pieces. I think that next season, if guys can stay healthy, I think that they can have a really good shot at it. But I think they need one or two more pieces too. I think they could add, maybe one more wing defender or one more backcourt defender. And we got to see about Jackson Hayes, right? Like, is Jackson Hayes an actual playoff center? I don't know. He may be. Can he be their version of Tyson Chandler?
I think he could be Derek Lively, somewhat. I mean, at best. I mean, but he also has to stay out of foul trouble. He has to move his feet. He has to understand his assignment. I feel like we're asking a lot of him, but I mean, if he can be, he'll get paid this summer. He'll get at least $10 million a year, 10, 12 million a year if he can be.
Yeah, for sure.
If he can be above average or average at the center, if he can exceed expectations, it's big gonna be a lot on him. He's got to stay out of foul trouble. He's got to stay disciplined, and he's got to finish at the rim.
But I think the Lakers have to do a good job of keeping Rudy off the floor.
You said keeping who?
I think they have to do a good job of keeping Rudy off the floor. Like if they can play Rudy off the court, I think it bodes well for them.
That's fair.
So I think that's their like best bet. But I'm with you. I would still pick the Lakers to win this series, but I don't think it would come without contest. So I'm with you. What series you want to move on to next?
Let's do. What else is there?
Because we done talked about them all. We haven't gotten your opinions.
Oh, let's do. Want to do Indiana Bucks?
Actually, yes. Pacers Bucks. What you think?
This is going to be also a very, very.
I'll tell you what I think real quick. I think Giannis has been playing fucking incredible over the past 10 games ever since Dame went out. I think Giannis has been playing incredible, and I don't think they have to lose in the first round. And granted, I'm not going to say they are a better team without Dame because they are not. But I think it forces them to play differently, and it forces them to play in ways that they should have been playing already. Like I like the fact Brook Lopez seems to be getting more post touches. I like that. I like the fact that their backcourt defense seems to be a little bit better without him. Like I like the fact that the ball is in Giannis's hands more, and he's putting more and more pressure on the defense coming downhill. I like those things. Granted, I'm not gonna say that they're a better team without Dame because they aren't, but I do like the fact that with being without Dame forces them to play in different ways that they probably wouldn't play with Dame. But go ahead.
This is probably easily the second most intriguing series of the Eastern Conference. I think that Giannis is gonna have to go like absolutely nuclear in order for them to have a chance. But it worries me, Brook Lopez. I know he has to play pretty much with his mobility at this point. He's great. He pretty much has to play drop coverage, and they love to bring Halliburton top of the key. They love to run high screener rolls, high screening pops for him and Miles Turner, and the extras, and they love to get up and down. The Indiana, like last year, they do a great job. They wear teams out. They made that surprising Eastern Conference run last year, and I just don't know if Milwaukee can keep up. Unless like Giannis, literally, like I saw people jokingly comparing him to 2018 Bron. He would have to, do that. Maybe even he'd have to go. I've had Giannis averages probably be like 34, 14, and like 7. I think that's literally what they need from him night in night out in this series to compete with the Pacers, because the Pacers are a run and gun team. They put up a lot of points. They got a floor. They got a guy who sets the table for everybody. I think Benedict Mathurin, Miles Turner, all these guys, they do a great job consistently just wearing teams down. So I think that it'll be I honestly expect this to go 7. So my pick is probably gonna be um. oof. I'm gonna go Bucks just because I think this is a big legacy series for Giannis. I know, and I think that I think that he will be able to get the job done. I think him being healthy heading into a series, he hasn't been healthy heading into the playoffs. So I think he has that
About
extra
2-3
grudge,
years.
finally being able to go into a series healthy. I think that's going to be big for him. I think that he'll take it personally. And I just think that he'll will them over what the Pacers have to bring.
I'm with you. I'm picking the Bucks to win this series, and it has everything to do with Giannis. Um, like I said, I think over the past month or so, Giannis has been playing some of the best basketball of his career, and I don't expect that to stop. And the thing about this season is he's also added a mid-range game. It's not the best, but it's still a solid enough mid-range game where he doesn't have to get all the way to the rim every single time. And his passing has been incredible. Kuzma, like if Kuzma can shoot, I don't know, 37% from three. You got AJ Green out there. If he can give you actual playoff minutes, Kevin Porter Jr., right? Can he give you actual quality playoff minutes? And like I said, I like the fact that, I think not having Dame, I think it forces you to use Brook Lopez in the ways he used to be used, right? Like I think Brook Lopez has been doing what he's been doing so long as far as being a stretch five that people forget. In the early 2010s, he was one of the best post scorers in the NBA that we had. I think people forget that. So the man can still score when you give him the ball on the block. I know he's older now, but he can still get you buckets down there. Like I said, I don't think that this team, just because Dame isn't there, that they have to be a first round exit. Yeah, so I'm with you. I'm going Bucks in 7. Bucks in 7 for me. Yeah. Bucks in 7. So yeah. Personally. What's the other series in the East?
We waiting on what is it? Who won that? It's
Boston.
Oh no, we're talking about
Magic. We already know what's gonna go on.
We know who
Boston
Cleveland
Magic.
play.
But actually, let's dive into it more because I think we dived into it, but we didn't fully dive into it. The Rockets versus the Warriors. I don't think you picked the person to win. I don't think I picked the person to win.
Mm-hmm.
I think we started talking about it, but I don't think we fully dived into it. Let's fully dive into Rockets Warriors. Number one, would it be an upset to you if the Rockets won?
I think it would, just off the fact that they don't really, outside of Van Fleet, they're a younger team. I think that nobody expected them to finish 2. Like heading into the year, I don't think I saw a single person saying Rockets would be the 2 seed.
Yeah,
I think off the championship pedigree, the pedigree that they the Warriors, between Jimmy, Steph, and Draymond, Jimmy's been in multiple finals. Steph and Draymond obviously have been in multiple finals. I just think that championship pedigree got Kerr as the coach, like a overall like a 6-time champion, something, whatever. I just think that it would be an upset if the Rockets were able to knock off Golden State. I believe I thought I saw the numbers earlier. I think the Rockets were lightly favored.
They are.
I just think
They're favored.
It was whatever it was. It was like I think it was -25. It might have been Warriors.
Yeah, fair.
125. But I mean, I think it would just because they don't have everybody knows they don't have the experience and nobody expected them to be here. And also just considering the Warriors have been the best team in the league since acquiring Jimmy Butler, so they playing great basketball. So I mean, I think that it definitely would be upset if the Rockets pulled this off. And just because I mean also outside of like the Rockets don't really have who's the clear cut best player on the Rockets? Is it Sengun? Is it
Sengun?
I don't think we really know who's going to produce the most. Who's going to produce the
Sengun is, I think, the clear cut best player, but I think Draymond can. I don't want to say have his way with Sengun, but I think Draymond can make it very difficult on Sengun.
Get his head a little bit as well.
Yeah, I think it make it very difficult on Sengun. I think that the thing about the Rockets is, who do you depend on to give you 20 a night? Now, it may not matter if you can guard and make it a full team effort, but it's who do you depend on to get you 20 a night? I think that this series might be the reason. If they lose, I think this series might be the reason why you go out and try to acquire a Kevin Durant, or you go out and try to acquire a Devin Booker in the off season. Because again, who do you depend on to get you 20 points if you Houston right now, every night in a playoff game? Like Jalen Green can be up and down. Amen. His offensive game isn't yet at the level where you can depend on 20 points a night. Defensively, he might be all defensive first team. He probably should be all defensive first team, but offensively, his offensive game, and it who knows, it may not ever develop to a point where like he's a 22, 24 point guy per night type of guy. He may just be a 18, 8, and 5 guy with incredible defense, which that's great. That's incredible. But that may be who he is and not a 24, 25 point per game type guy. And yeah, Jalen Green, like, I think he's more of a I thought he would be better. I thought he would be like best scorer in the league type of guy. And granted, he hasn't really got the chance to put up, well, he has, but he hasn't really got a chance to put up a bunch of meaningless buckets, especially since the past 2 years when the Rockets have been actively trying to win games, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I thought he would be better, and he hasn't yet been a guy who can consistently get you 25 a night, no matter who he's playing. He's got to do this against Jimmy Butler and guys like that. So that's my main question with the Rockets is who scores the basketball? Like what? Let me look. What were the Rockets in offensive efficiency this year? Let's look.
I know they're talking, and this is random, but my coach of the year is probably Ime Udoka.
I'm gonna give it to Kenny Atkinson, but I'm not mad at Ime Udoka.
Yeah, I remember a couple years ago we got on the podcast and we said if Ime Udoka can get here and he can make these guys somewhat or even a remnants of a good defense, and yeah, he deserves it all. And they're literally like, I think, are they arguably not the best defense in the league, or if not,
they are fourth in defensive. They are fourth in defensive rating, and they are 13th in offensive rating.
Okay, that's not too top 15 in both.
Yeah. So yeah, my main thing is, like I said, was who can give you 20 a night. But they're top. Mm-hmm. But they might have. But they might have one of, like, as far as like a top to bottom team, they have one of the best top 8s in the league. Like Tari Eason and Cam Whitmore could definitely probably start on other NBA teams. They just happen to play in Golden State.
You said
not in Golden State. They just happen to play in Houston. I think Tari Eason and Cam Whitmore could start on other squads. They just happen to play in Houston.
Yeah, Tari Eason is really, he's exceptional. Yeah, he's good.
Yeah. So who are you going? You going Warriors and what?
I'm going Warriors in 6. 6. Yeah,
me too. I'm going
in Chase.
I'm going Warriors in 6, maybe in like a close 5, but I'm going Warriors in 6. But if the Rockets can just be smart and they can defend like hell, it would not shock me if they did win the series.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the lack of experience and the lack of that, that lead, for sure score is what worries me about them.
Facts. But moving on, last thing before we get out of here, I would like to talk about this. Who are, because we haven't asked you, off the top of your head, who are your award winners? Let's go the winners for all the main awards, and then let's go with our first team All NBA and our first team All Defense. We don't got to do all 3. That's kind of crazy, but give us your first team All NBA, first team All Defense, and who are your individual award winners for every award.
MVP, I'm going Shea. I just think that, him being the motor behind the team that won 64, 65 plus games, whatever it is, I think that's you can't overlook that. Averaging 30, he led the league in scoring, 32 points per game. He's also been really good defensively. I believe he deserves recognition for the all-defensive team. I just think that him being the head of that what they got going over there in Oklahoma and winning all those games. And there was at one point we looked at their schedule. They could have, if they would have finished hard, they could have arguably finished with maybe 70 wins. I just think that
they wouldn't go finish with 70.
It was possible. They had it was possible at one point. It was possible. When they had 62 wins, they had 12.
I never think they was gonna win. I never think they was gonna win 70 games. But fair. I just
think that all around, and being able to be, a top offense, top defense, is pretty much taking care of business night in and night out for the whole entire 82 games. You got Chet got injured for a bit. Hartenstein was at some point kind of in and out of the lineup. I think Jalen Williams also was hurt, and for them to just stay afloat regardless of that, you got guys like Isaiah Joe and Aaron Wiggins producing. I just think that just overall, I think that needs to be rewarded. So Shea's my MVP, playing both ends, leading the league in scoring. I think that can't be overlooked. My most improved, I'm going with Zubac. I think he's been a force on both offense and
over
defense.
Reeves. Over Reeves.
Yeah, I mean that's close, but yeah, I'm going. I think
I
Zoo
said
got
Reeves for mine,
Zoo got both
but
ends.
I'm not
Zoo
mad at
got both
Zoo.
ends, and he also is a heck of a rebounder. So yeah, I'm going Zoo. I think that him. I think he's a little more important. I think he's a little more important to the Clippers. But yeah, I'm going Zoo for most improved. I think that obviously the blocks as well, offensively, defensively. So he's in night in, night out. I think he's 18-10 guy this year. He closed the year even averaging more. He got over 1,000 rebounds this season for the Clippers. What other word?
Six man
What
of the
else?
year.
You said what?
Six man of the year.
Six man. I'm going.
I know who I went with.
Who'd you go with?
Peyton Pritchard.
Oh, that's fair.
I would have went with DeAndre Hunter, but he started starting.
I thought I had it wrote down somewhere. Peyton. How much did Peyton Pritchard end up averaging?
It's a good question. I don't know. Let's look.
Oh, here it goes. I found it. Oh, I did have it written down. Oh, okay. I'm going Malik Beasley.
For six man of the year?
For six man of the year. I think he was second in the league in threes. He shot the lights out all season.
I think he actually led the league in threes.
Yeah, no, I think Anthony Edwards passed him.
He passed him? Okay.
Yeah, he passed him by one that last. He shot like fucking 23.
He shot like mad threes. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going probably. Yeah, I'll go Malik Beasley. I mean, I think he was, the Pistons like they don't have too much to work with offensively, and I think he felt that he was huge for them. You don't get that 6 seed without a guy coming off the bench doing what he did, averaging I think around 17 points per game and just shooting the lights out. Having that's big for him. Obviously he's been a bounce around the league over the last couple of years for him to finally be stabilized, find a home, and be a huge part offensively to what happened in Detroit when it happened in Detroit in years. So I'll give my go 6 man of the year Malik Beasley. Like I said, coach of the year. Like I said, I'm going with Ime. I think that job with the Rockets was exceptional. I don't think anybody really had them finishing second in the Western Conference.
Yeah, I am finishing second. I definitely had them possibly in like the playoffs. No, I definitely had them for sure in the play, and I had them possibly in the playoffs. Did not have them having winning 50 games.
Yeah, so yeah, I think that's really impressive. I remember the Rockets was full of turnstiles. They just like when Jalen Green first got there and what was going on, it was
when Steven Silas was there. Lord Jesus, God bless his soul, but Lord Jesus,
I feel like Ime got there and completely changed the culture. He completely changed the way everything is done there, and I think that cannot be discredited. He completely just changed the way the Rockets looked at night in and night out. Completely changed the way they move. Completely changed the attitudes and whatnot. I think that's somewhat. I mean, while it was somewhat expected, he obviously was great with Boston before he got into his off the court shenanigans. But the fact that he actually executed it and justified the fact that the Rockets pretty much immediately pursued him, despite the fact he did have those off the court shenanigans, I think that's fire for him, and I think that's good. I'm looking forward to what he can do with that franchise over the next coming year.
Respect. All right, first team All NBA.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I'm gonna go Shea. Do they still do it by
I don't think positions matter.
It doesn't?
No.
It don't matter no more?
I don't believe so, no.
I'm gonna go Shea, Giannis, Tatum, Jokic. And that last spot is tough. Shea, Giannis, Tatum, Jokic.
I know I got the last spot. I know I'm going to the last spot for because those four are locks. I think everybody in the world got those four. But the last spot for me, I go Donovan.
I can't go Donovan first.
Can't go Donovan?
I can't go Donovan first team All NBA.
What?
I can't go Donovan.
The 60-win team?
I can't go Donovan, bro.
I can't go Donovan, Steph, Anthony Edwards.
I'm not gonna lie to you, bro.
LeBron. Huh?
I can't go Bron first team, G. I can't go. Well, yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, Bron. Bronson gave you 25, 8 and 8. I'll go Bron first team. I'll go Shea, Bron, Tatum, Jokic, and Giannis. I'm fine with that.
I wouldn't give it to
I was deciding between Ant and Cade.
Andy K. I wouldn't go Bron just because I feel like he hasn't been the best player in the Lakers all year.
Huh?
I don't think he's been the best player in the Lakers all season.
I disagree.
I mean, I wouldn't give a first team.
I disagree with that. You think Luka been better than him since he came to LA?
Yeah.
Hell no. I disagree. I feel you, but I disagree. I vehemently disagree. Vehemently disagree. I don't think Luka been at fire since he came to LA.
And he what 20? He like what? At least 27.
And he's shooting like 40% from the field.
I mean, shit. He out there to shoot the ball.
He ain't out there to shoot 40%.
He also setting the table. Shit.
He has shot below 40%. I think it was like 10 times.
Goddamn, for real?
Yeah, it was like a lot of times he shot below 40%. I do think Bron, for the most part, consistently week to week has been the best player on the Lakers all season, and he's been the one constant throughout all the change, and they still won 50 games. So you know what? I'm not mad at going Bron. But what? So we had the same one. You would just take.
I put Mitchell instead of LeBron.
Mitchell is nuts.
Mitchell is not nuts. The
Mitchell
Cavs,
is nuts, bro.
Them 61 teams need
Mitchell is nuts.
First team All-NBA players.
Yeah, but Mitchell is nuts, bro. Mitchell is nuts. I would. Mitchell is nuts, bro. I can't
LeBron
go.
Is nuts. He ain't nuts.
I can't go again. Off the top of my head, I would decide between Ant and Cade.
I'm sorry, I know I'm joining, but I'm eating and I'm late. Y'all not gonna put Cat up there over LeBron?
I thought about it. I thought about it. What
are you talking about? Cat, yeah.
Thomas, I gave myself.
Oh, my bad. No, but Cat first team. I mean, shit, he's shooting.
I thought about
24.4, 12.8, 3 assists, shooting 52% from the field, 42% from 3, 83% from the free throw line.
Isn't he also? I know people
Cat,
shoot like 50% on times. Isn't he like one of the main reasons why their defense is horrible?
I mean, the defense isn't terrible, but like, yeah, people do shoot a very high percentage on Cat at the rim. They do. But moving on, first team all defense. Who is your first team all defense? I know I got Dyson Daniels.
Mm-hmm.
I got Evan Mobley. I got Amen Thompson. Then the last is a little bit hard. Amen Thompson.
Not going Draymond?
Yeah, Draymond. I'm going Draymond. And I'll go Giannis. I would go Chris Dunn, but I think the problem with Chris Dunn is Chris Dunn hasn't played enough minutes to qualify.
No, Jaren Jackson?
Not this year. Who you gonna take off for him?
So you said what? Obviously, I think everybody got Dyson Daniels.
I said Dyson, Amen, Evan Mobley, I think everybody Giannis, has those three. And Draymond.
I'll probably take off Giannis, put Jaren, and then I go Draymond.
I don't think Jaren been a better defensive player than Giannis this season, bro.
I don't know, man. I
don't think he's a better defensive player than Giannis this season, bro.
What is it? He's fourth in rim defensive field goal percentage this year. It's Porzingis, Daniel Gafford, Donovan Clingan, Jaren Jackson, and Wemby, the top five.
Oh, damn! I can't go Wemby because Wemby.
You can't win because the game.
The game thing. But I would have went Wemby. That was a lock. What's yours though?
For my first team or my second team?
First team.
I'd say same thing with yours. So I put Jaren over Giannis.
I'll put Jaren on my. Okay, let's go second team. I will put Jaren on my second team. Jaren, Carson Wallace. I wonder if Keaton. I don't think he played enough minutes. No, he ain't played enough minutes either to qualify. Jaren, Carson Wallace, Bam. I'll go Rudy for second team. Rudy. In my last spot.
You say you don't think Chris Dunn played enough?
I don't think he played enough minutes to qualify is the problem.
Oh, okay.
I think it's a certain amount of minutes that you got to play to qualify. My last spot, I ain't gonna lie to you, I might go Tatum.
Oh, I like that.
I might go Tatum for my last spot.
I like that.
So I said Carson Wallace, I said Jaren, I said Rudy, I said Tatum, and I said who else did I say? Who else did I say? Oh my goodness, I forgot.
Second team all defense.
Forgot who I said, but yeah, whoever I said that first and my last person, I'm gonna go with this Tatum.
You didn't have Dort at all.
Dude, he got to be on the top squad.
I feel like he was holding players, team best players to less percentages, also less points, below their average pretty much all year.
All right, well, who your second team?
Dort, Giannis, probably Derek White. I didn't really want to say. Wait, let me see. Zubac.
Not mad at that.
And Gobert. Is that 4 or 5?
I think that was 5. Oh, I think I said Rudy, and I forgot to say Rudy. I think I said Rudy, but yeah, Rudy. I think Rudy deserves to be second team.
All right, cool.
I think he was good enough to make a team. Oh, you didn't pick a rookie of the year, but I think we all know who we're gonna pick for rookie of the year.
Was it Castle?
Yeah, think so. Yeah, I think Stephon Castle's been. I think that Reese Shea should probably come second. But I think Stephon Castle's been the best rookie for the most part the entire season.
I like Jalen Wells too. He's in the running. I think
Jalen Wells was nice. Shout out Jalen Wells. Get well soon, brother.
I think the number one pick as well, Zachariah Rishkar, however you pronounce it.
I said Reese Shea should probably come in second. I think ever since they traded, he got better throughout the season, and ever since they traded DeAndre Hunter, I think he was damn near shooting like 50-40 from like February on, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm with that. But I want to get out of here soon. Thomas, you got TP, you got any thoughts that you want to get off or things that you want to say before I don't even know if the man can hear me. I don't think the man can hear me. All right. Joe, you got anything else you want to say? Anything else that you want to discuss before we get off here for the day?
No, I think that might be it.
All right. Well, I guess we could wrap it up there. Next show we gotta do one live, bro. We gotta do a show live either next week, because I know Saturday I'm gonna be gone because I'm going to Vegas. I think this weekend. But we gotta do a live show at some point in time next week. Catch one of the playoff games.
During the playoffs.
Yeah, for sure. Catch a happy hour. Catch one of the playoff games. Probably a Lakers game, just because it makes sense for Lakers or Clippers game, or like one of the West Coast games, because it makes sense for all of us time wise. But yeah, Joe, man, get your plug in, man. Tell the people where they can find you at, all of that.
Instagram, give me at Joel R. Wilson. Twitter, the Jolts with 2 S's, THEJOLTSS. Thank y'all for tuning in. Nice chopping up with Pavy about the playoffs. Got a lot more to say in the next couple of weeks when watch these games.
All right, man. Same, bro. All y'all, man. We'll be back really, really soon. Appreciate all y'all for tuning in as always, and we will holler at y'all next time.